Joining me right now in a First on Fox interview is Texas Congressman, member of the House Judiciary Committee, and former federal prosecutor John Ratcliffe, also a member of the House Intel Committee. And Congressman, it is always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to see you again, Maria.
And, you know, we've talked for 2 years now. Congressman, you've come on my Sunday program on Fox News, and you really are one of the reasons that I was so adamant. I knew that there was no collusion very early on, and I said it early on, and I said it often, so our viewers were a lot smarter as a result of your work. Tell us your reaction to what we know today.
Well, you're too kind, Maria, but I did have the benefit that you and your viewers didn't have. I had seen every classified document that any member of Congress was allowed to see, so I wasn't surprised at all at the findings. Before I saw a single word of the report, you and I talked about that. There wasn't going to be collusion, there wasn't going to be obstruction, there wasn't going to be evidence of any crimes by President Trump, because I knew again, as a result of seeing all of those documents and having a lot of closed-door testimony, that this was all based on a house of cards, that this was a fake, phony dossier that started all of this, funded by the Democrats, peddled by Trump-hating Brennan and Clapper, falsely verified by Lynch and Comey and folks at the FBI and the Department of Justice, and then sold, again, by those very same Democrats to the American people through the mainstream media as being real. It wasn't real, and now Bob Mueller says it wasn't real.
It's pretty extraordinary. You know, the media got on board, Congressman. They were like driving the bus for this. You know, if our viewers have been watching our coverage for the last 2 years, you've seen many experts say there was no collusion all along, beginning with you. Watch this. We have no evidence of any crime here. And you have made the point umpteen times with me in the past that in order to hire a special counsel, you need evidence of a crime. Where is the evidence of a crime, and what is Robert Mueller doing?
In order to have a criminal investigation, you've got to have a crime. There ought to be a specification of a crime. There is then a requirement that when the special counsel is appointed, he or she has to be provided with a specific statement of facts that warrant the investigation. In other words, these are the facts we're investigating, and this is the crime we're investigating. We haven't seen that, and that's a problem.
The one thing I do know for sure, let the investigation go where it may. This president won the election solely on that he connected with the American people. No other influence involved.
With all of what you're saying, whether it's no official intelligence, the president pushing to find out the truth, no obstruction of justice, are these reasons to shut down this Robert Mueller special counsel probe?
It appears like this was clearly what started as a counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign. They drilled a bunch of dry holes, never found any collusion. They moved to obstruction. They've got a special counsel, and now God knows where this is going to go.
Right.
But I think the American people are getting sick and tired of it.
Some of the things that Mr. Mueller has uncovered and has indicted people for have nothing to do with the collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia.
Can Robert Mueller do this special investigation without looking at all of this? I mean, how is that investigation having any credibility if he's not actually looking at who did collude or who did work with the Russians?
I think at the end of the day, Maria, where we are headed here is no charges for collusion or obstruction with anyone associated with the Trump campaign.
And that was you back in October of 2018. Where we're headed is no collusion, Congressman. Congratulations. You called it. You nailed it. Let me ask you, what is going to happen to all of those people who massively misled the American people? I want to go back to everything we've spoken about in the last 2 years, the fact that there was flimsy evidence that they presented to the FISA court so that they could spy on the Donald Trump presidential campaign, and all of the other misdeeds. Where is the accountability, Congressman?
Well, to talk about the accountability, Maria, we need to again start with Bob Mueller. Regardless of how he got there, the conclusions that you heard yesterday, why they were so powerful was oftentimes you hear prosecutors say there wasn't enough evidence to charge a crime of collusion, say conspiracy. Here, Bob Mueller didn't say we didn't have enough evidence. He said there was no evidence. And so the problem that you have for folks like Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell and others like that said not only did the president commit crimes, but they had evidence of those crimes, they've got some explaining to do. On the law enforcement and intelligence side, as you say, the Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Jim Comey, Jim Baker, Loretta Lynch, where was the probable cause to begin all of these things to do against Donald Trump? That's where there has to be accountability on that side. Bill Barr has promised that he will look into that. Now that the special counsel has completed his work, the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, can finish his report. I expect that to be done in the next few months based on my sources. And then, of course, Lindsey Graham over in the Senate made very clear yesterday in response to all this that he has a lot of questions, and from a congressional oversight, he wants to bring back Jim Comey and a lot of the folks that have given testimony that is now entirely inconsistent with Bob Mueller's findings.